Part 1. The Intro. So I've come to know the Ewok TV series to become one of the more unique sides of Star Wars, but in a way most would not see it as. Allow me to explain, but in a way where I highlight such things in categories. So with that, let's begin. So we'll go on to Part 2. The Good, the Bad, and the Memorable. In the Ewok TV films, most come to say they were films that did not match the expectations for the average Star Wars fan, and really didn't have a place in the franchise. But to me, most of that was faded by the sheer amount of memorable scenes and the moments provided throughout the films in general. I mean, a lot of what you see in them is likely talked of little to none, and to this day they both remain a childhood memory for me in the Star Wars saga, like, no matter what. In specific, I'll be talking of the less well-received film, The Battle of Endor. Now, as clunky and cheesy as these films can be at times, it remains a side of Star Wars we don't really see often, and not now, not at all really. To me, that strikes an interesting memorability factor, especially for me, because it expands upon the less typical and truly unique side of the Star Wars saga overall. Part 3. The Characters and Plot Development. So the plot is simple, and while so, it just kind of works as cheesy as it is to me. Like I said, I'll specifically be speaking about the Battle of Endor film in particular. So it really kind of unfolds when Sindel is kidnapped by the evil sorceress-like individual, who then proceeds to take Sindel back to Tarek's castle. Now, in this you really begin to see the stupidity of the Sannyasins, or however the hell you pronounce the alien species. When they truly believe a child such as Sindel can make a power core work in whatever way they think it can work, it really just doesn't make sense. And then in denying her ability to do so, in truth, she and the sorceress, or whatever she is then tossed into the keep where they wait for Noah and Wicket and Teak to rescue her and Wicket's friends, or family, or whatever they are. So, while that's the core of it, the ending is rather decently portrayed too, in my opinion. When the battle occurs and then Tarek is defeated, while Noah and Sindel then commence their last goodbyes to the innocent creatures and use the power core to then power the old cruiser Noah landed on the planet with, and blast off in the finale. Part 4, my bad. The creatures of the films. Okay, so most actually seem to find the Ewoks a nuisance to the films, and Teak was probably an acceptance. But hey, in all honesty, I found them to be the complete opposite. They focus on a rather unique, seemingly innocent species of creatures that, in my opinion, added a more memorability to the films more than anything. And I'm kind of glad they made their appearances in the ways they did, even in the Return of the Jedi. But I suppose we can get down to their attributes, which actually make for quite enjoyably, comedic battle scenes that really kick it off, in my opinion. So these creatures are quite cunning, and in being so, they are really much smarter than the average fluffy little teddy bears they seemingly make out to be. And to be frank, I couldn't have seen it much better, because watching the Sannyasin warriors get completely obliterated, basically, by a band of witty teddy bears was truly a memory I wouldn't forget, and an enjoyable one at that. Hence why I favor the creatures so much. They're a side of witty comedy you don't see often, and one that makes impressions of the films you wouldn't expect, taking away from the ever so common typicality you see in today's films. Part 5. The End Statement. This Star Wars TV series may not have been the best looked upon, and for some, especially for a part in the Star Wars series overall. But hey, I found them to be ones that stuck with my childhood memories, and even today, films that have their place in my heart and childhood nostalgia. And again, they were much more than that to me because they brought some of the more unique sides of Star Wars to the table. And I appreciate that because in my eyes of today's portrayals of these types of films, it just won't ever be the same as it was in the 1980s. And don't forget, may the Force be with you, always.